Episode 172 of the pod. It is a happy new year for one Logan Paul and Conor McGregor weekend trav, as the rumor is each man is securing a bag, $250 million each.
$500 million.
To fight each other in India this summer, maybe? What are we saying about that?
Hopefully nothing.
Hopefully nothing is right, because we got to talk real boxing. We got to talk about 2024. This is the official year-end, beginning of 2025 episode. We've done this every year. We're going to talk match of the year, knockout of the year, prospect of the year, and ultimately the fighter of the year for 2024. And let's jump right into the first one here. Weekend Trav, match of the year. I want you to go first. We'll kind of alternate here and there. Okay. So match of the year for 2024 to Weekend Trav, a.k.a. Travis Hartman. What would you say that was this year? Match of the year.
I'm going to go with the match of the year based on how completely emotional and electric this fight was. And I think everybody's going to agree with this one, honestly. I'm going with Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney.
Here's the thing, folks. We don't discuss our choices.
That's yours?
So we'll get to it, but I want to hear your thoughts. That is mine as well. We didn't talk about it. It's on my notes, but we didn't talk about it.
I love this.
Let's go for it.
I mean, listen. First, we thought Ryan Garcia was going crazy. We actually thought the fight would actually end up never happening. The press conferences were awesome. The one-on-ones were like off the chain for sure, off the reservation, you could say. And then the fight comes to fruition. Garcia comes in like 4 pounds overweight, 144.4, something crazy. And like, I even though I bet on Garcia, I thought Devin Haney was, because of the act that Ryan Garcia put on, I was like, dude, this is no way he can win this fight. Yeah. And then he goes out there and dominates him.
Just rolls him,
and
basically.
then what he did was he made a forever meme after that. And he's not wrong. I mean, Devin Haney has still not let this one go.
No.
Devin Haney is soft like Charmin.
Yeah.
And we all know this. He's soft like Charmin. So it just made it interesting, and I thought it was one of the most emotional build-ups with I think they're two elite fighters, I do. So I think that it did have all that mix, but then the drama. Like, oh my gosh.
It's not that it was just the match of the year. It's the fact that we were talking about it for months leading up to it, which happened earlier in 2024. And the fact that now it's officially January 1, 2025, and we're still talking to the ramifications of this fight. Ryan Garcia had a 12-month suspension, correct? Yep. Which he's almost fulfilled.
Positive Austrian in the system.
He's almost filled all of that, by the way. He stayed in the headlines. People thought he was going crazy before and after and this and that. The lawsuit, the Haney family trying to sue Ryan Garcia over what? The absolute beating he took? You can't sue it out of people's brains and memory banks.
Exactly right.
And on top of that, if you follow any of these guys on social media, whether it's Ryan Garcia, who's actually been pretty quiet recently, or just Devin Haney, every time Devin Haney posts something, everybody reminds him of...
Read the comments.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Get your popcorn and read the comments.
It's absolutely beautiful. The fact that he's so soft, though, like you mentioned, soft like Charmin, and the whole lawsuit. Dude, have we ever heard of another boxer trying to sue an opponent because they got their ass beat, even though the guy came in over, even though the guy had, what was it, like a millionth of something in it?
It was the tiniest speckle of Austrian. Yeah. And who knows? He got suspended for a year suspension. Say what you want. I don't believe that's what beat him.
If that amount of that does that, if that amount of Austrian creates such a strength component increase in a Ryan Garcia, give me that. I want vials of it. I want to take it every day for the rest of my life.
Which is insane, because it doesn't. I don't think there's
exactly
any evidence that it does.
I'm pretty sure that we'd be hearing more about that. But the fact that a fighter is suing or trying to sue, I'm sure it got tossed or will get tossed.
Yes,
trying to sue somebody for that is laughable.
It is, at best. And
the social media hordes with a D.
Got you.
They remind him of it
every
day. That's why this was the match of the year.
We're still talking about it. It's a forever meme, dude. There's ever a forever meme, and there's actually forever memes of it. Like, you just see Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia over the top of him every time he knocks him down. So listen, I'm not condoning the drug use.
No.
Ryan Garcia got banned for a year. Whatever it is, I don't know that I genuinely don't believe he did it on purpose. I really don't believe that it was in the system on purpose, but it doesn't matter. he got his win taken away.
Yep.
Devin Haney's got the goose egg on his loss record as well. And he's
Another one
trying
taken
to
away.
sue and get another win in court. I don't think he'll win because he's suing for defamation, I think, too, and some other stuff. It's just going to be very hard to prove. You're a professional boxer. You know stepping in the ring, the risks that run. And also, Ryan Garcia has paid the price.
Yeah.
Okay? I think he got fined $1 million as well. And he's serving a suspension, which is going to cost him more. In a year, Ryan Garcia is probably making $20 or $30 million in a year.
Yeah.
You suspended him for a year. He's not making anything. Okay? So, Devin Haney, let it go, bro.
If anything, you need to get back in the ring and fight somebody.
Right? Devin Haney's not on a suspension, and what have we seen of him?
0. I'd be surprised. I think even though Ryan Garcia recently hurt his wrist, I think we're probably going to see Ryan Garcia in the ring first.
Right?
Over Devin
Which
Haney,
is
which
insane.
makes no sense. So now who's the head case? Well,
Yeah.
argument is could be for Devin Haney. So
think
it wasn't
Devin Haney's
exactly
bad.
that it was the most skilled back and forth match of the year because there were plenty others.
Yeah, for
and we
sure.
won't name them here. But overall, I think the storyline, the lead up, the after effect, all of it, the change of opinion. Devin Haney was considered a pound for pound one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think some lists kept him in the top 10.
Yeah.
For what reason, I have no idea, but he is off of mine.
Yeah, you can. Even though he didn't technically lose on the record, everybody saw what they saw.
He lost in my heart.
And that's the thing. What did I tell? If I'm his PR guy, I'm telling him, shut up and don't talk about this fight until you get back in the ring next and just literally don't talk about this. But what do? They sue Garcia and put it back in the headlines.
And he just posts pictures of him in bad
What are you-
fashion,
what are you suing him for?
wearing
Yeah, I know.
wearing man bags and stuff like that. We just can't do it. So match of the year, you and I both agree. That's interesting. We haven't talked about it. So match of the year,
So funny. We haven't even been around each other either for a couple of weeks, like in person. So that's
Happy
insane
holidays.
And funny about
yeah,
that, though.
so
And
that-
we chose that's pretty cool though.
there you go, match of the year. So let's transition then. Watch, we have the same one, I bet, here on knockout of the year. There's a lot of good knockouts. I was doing some research on this. I'll go first. How about that on this one for knockout of the year? And maybe it holds a special place in my memory banks because, frankly, we were both there for it. It came in Tampa when we were out to watch Mike Perry take on Jake Paul in Tampa. The knockout of the year, B-Money, my choice, is Lucas Badi knocking out Ashton Sylvie. It was a devastating knockout. It wasn't the first punch that was the devastating part, which Sylvie was knocked out after on the first one. It was on the way down. He got hit again and then just went face first to the canvas, was laying there like a dead fish. It felt like for an eternity. Weekend Trav was on the floor,
Yeah, I was actually scared.
scared.
I really was. 'Cause
The arena was silent at a certain point. It was bad knockout. Well, I'm going to see if we can get that on the screen.
You know, I took a live thing,
Yeah.
not the actual knockout, but like afterwards.
I know when we the episode after that fight, we put it on. So I think I'll be able to put it on the screen here, but that was my knockout of the year. Lucas Badi knocking out Ashton Sylvie in Tampa, Florida.
You know what's pretty crazy about that is Lucas Badi was scheduled to fight a local Orlando guy in Corey Marksman, which I wish would have happened, but Corey got hurt and wasn't
In
able to do
Dallas,
it
yeah.
in Dallas
Yeah.
on the undercard of Tyson versus I almost said Fury, but Tyson versus Jake Paul.
Because it is Tyson Fury.
Yeah. So
We'll get to him in a
that's
minute, too.
pretty cool. That's the knockout of the year. Honestly, man, I'm not gonna lie right now. I had who I thought, and I just drew a blank. And you know why? It's been the holiday season, man. I think I've been drinking too much. I think I've been too busy, and my
Super busy.
brain is just not working
It's so weird.
right now.
Weekend Trav, the holidays, you get some years where it's like, it's busy, but it's not that bad, and it's fun, and you enjoy the season. This one was not it for me. This was I don't want to say hellish, but it was just busy. It was just constantly just something going on. Nothing bad necessarily, just busy. And so 2024 went out. We're just like with a blur. I have clients, I have other people saying, oh, how was Christmas? I'm like, honestly, it's kind of like just a blur in my mind. We did the gifts thing in the morning, and then I have 2 teenagers, so when they're done, they're done. And then I just got in the kitchen. I was cooking. And, until we had some family come over and we were eating. So it was just a blur of a day. Holidays were that way. And then last night was New Year's Eve, and here we are.
I got it. I'm not know why.
You like how I stalled? That was good.
I did. It was beautiful.
Did a good job
'Cause
on
you
that.
were like, I was racking my brain. I was even trying to search for some stuff, but I actually didn't even
We
find it.
don't miss a beat.
But
We don't miss a beat.
B Money's the man. And
Come on.
B Money is literally the man. So, Anthony Joshua versus, oh my gosh, I just forget his name. Dubo. Dubois knocking out Anthony Joshua after being hurt.
Okay.
Clipped him.
I thought you were going to go.
Folded him. No, that one. And I thought the importance of that and the knockout's pretty good. I mean, Joshua folded up boom, head first. So that, I think that I'm not in disagreement with the body one. I think that one was freaking amazing. We saw that live, and that was it was more devastating too because Sylvia was winning that whole fight. Like pretty easily. It was almost like he was about to cruise to a victory, and then all of a sudden,
they were also teeing him up. I mean, he was supposed to be like MVP's thing.
He hasn't fought since then either, has he? I don't
think so. Maybe he has. I don't know. I'll look it up. But yours, I think it was just more of a prominent
Joshua
situation.
Dubois. Yeah. I mean, that was on a bigger stage, but that shouldn't affect too much. But I just think it was a good one because that fight too was a great fight, to be fair as well. But that was my knockout of the year, Dubois over Anthony Joshua. And the heavyweights are back in the division, man. We've got a lot of heavyweights we're going to probably talk about tonight too. So that's back in the mix. And when heavyweight boxing does good, I feel like boxing overall does good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I thought you were going to go with Joshua taking out the MMA guy. That was a pretty good one.
Oh, that was devastating. But the only reason, I mean, that was a devastating one. He folded him too. But I didn't think the relevance in
it wasn't
boxing
relevant.
Wasn't as higher. Like I expected that. I also expected Fury to do that to Ngannou, but he didn't.
Yeah.
But no, I was thinking Dubois versus Joshua was pretty phenomenal. And it was a little shocking too.
Yeah, so Lucas Body has, or not Lucas Body, Ashton Sylvia has not fought since July.
You know what happens?
Which is only a few months ago.
It is, but when you get knocked out like that, you do need to take a little bit of time off, but I think you need to jump back in that ring. Because mentally. Also, that's what Devin Haney, it's clear that he's not mentally there. Because he actually didn't lose that fight on the record books, right? So why are they taking all this time off? Why is he not fighting? Why is he not back in the ring again? Is because he's mentally weak right now.
Yeah, well.
And I think Ryan Garcia knocked the confidence right out of Devin Haney. And I actually was on a Devin Haney train about 3-4 years ago. I said he was going to take over that 135-pound division. He did move up, to be fair. Yeah, he did, but he won all the titles in that division and then defended it against Kambosos. Won them all and defended it. So he did technically, but he moved up to 140, and now he's with the big dogs. And I don't want to hear anything about he rehydrates just as much as Ryan Garcia was. So when they went into the ring, there was not a weight difference. Okay, Ryan Garcia weighed 4.4 pounds. It is a lot in boxing, right? But when they come back in the ring the next day, they both rehydrate, and they're like 160, something like that. Yeah. So, like, I didn't care about the 4.4 pounds.
It's not enough to get. It wasn't enough to get tossed around the ring like that.
But that's not why he beat him.
Man, it could be a Diddy party thing. I don't know. Let's move on to prospect of the year weekend, Trav. I think I'll let you go first on this one. I was just kind of going the order here, how we're going to flip-flop.
I like it. And now, so I'm going to have to give some credit. And the credit goes to our British correspondent, Dave Schroeder.
Yes.
He brought this guy to my attention. He's been high on this guy for a hot minute. So when I say his name now, I'm not taking credit for this. Dave showed me the way with this guy. His name is, he's a heavyweight, Moses Atumwa. He's 20 years old. He fought on the undercard of the Usyk versus Fury fight over in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And oh my gosh, I think Dave's right. I think this guy, he's 20 years old, right? And I'm going to call him prospect of the year, my prospect or whatever, my upcoming guy, right? I think he fights for a world title. And I think he contends with Mike Tyson for one of the youngest heavyweight champions of the world.
Okay.
This guy's pretty good, B-Money.
Yeah, if you follow us on Instagram, which if you don't, you should, at Wayne In with Travis Hartman, all one word on Instagram. I know you had talked and touched on him back when he did fight on that card there in Dallas, the Tyson-Paul card. So someone to definitely pay attention to. And that's kind of what we do every year. Every year, so I was going back in the annals of the prospects of the year that we've thrown out there before. You know, we had...
you had a heavyweight.
I've had Richard Torres Jr., who is slowly but surely getting his way. Listen, he's got to work his way through the trash man union fighters, right? He's got to get through all the garbage men and then all the janitors, and he'll eventually, fight somebody.
B-Money, though. Moses Atumwa is only 11.
Well, he won't fight that guy. You can't.
And he's only 20 years old.
Yeah, we know.
And he's already fighting He's fought 3 10-rounders now against guys. Morris Walker's a former world title challenger.
Yeah.
Dempsey McKean was like really good. He KO'd him, dude. Yeah, he's not only just beating them, he's knocking them out.
We're not putting him and Richard Torres Jr. in the ring together. We're not gonna do that.
Why not?
Because we gotta.
He would make some good T-shirts for that.
Come on. And then we have. I think in years past we've had Edgar Berlanga. I'm talking on mine. Now. He never broke through, but he got his way into a Canelo fight.
He did.
Right?
He talked his way right.
So that's
he
something.
talked his way into being pretty relevant too, because he's got a bunch of guys calling.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know. You never know.
That kind of panned out. Okay, to pay attention to these guys coming up.
I still don't think he's a top guy, but
I never said top. Pay attention. Prospect.
Prospect means they're going to be a top guy.
That means perspective.
You're just twisting.
And he got himself a Canelo fight, did he not?
Listen, I didn't know we were just talking about money-wise. He made some money, but he's not.
He lost one fight.
High-level dude.
Lost one.
Yeah, but who did he fight before that?
I don't know.
Exactly.
But then and you've brought forth a few guys. There was the Puerto Rican dude.
The other one, oh my gosh, why am I blanking on him too? He's the next best
same
Puerto
thing.
Rican.
I mean, he
hasn't really
kind of
had that big
I feel
fights.
like last in September he fought. We were in Milwaukee and watched him fight, and it was a good
he won,
fight.
yeah.
He won, but it just kind of felt like a plateauing sort of effort.
Yeah, I think it's time for him to step up. I think Berlanga stepped up a little faster, but like he didn't matter if Berlanga could have waited.
Yeah, I mean, we could have thrown Sandy Ryan in there, I think, but she led us on. She led us on the interviews, kept going back and forth and having to change times and dates.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot, Sandy Ryan. By the way, we tried to get you on the podcast how many times?
Maybe it was one of us throwing the red paint. It wasn't.
It was not. We were in Milwaukee.
Check the flight records.
Check the receipts.
Okay, so
but holy crap by that too. Oh my gosh.
Whatever.
We should have had something about the most shocking moment of 2020. That wasn't even shocking.
How was that
actually.
Even shocking? Who cares?
Yeah, it was one
That's
of the
what I said. Who cares?
Weird. I think it was a weird thing. And she's sticking by it, and still they've never found the person who did it. In this day and age, how many cameras are outside of a hotel? How many cameras are in New York?
How many paint cans were in her closet in the hotel? That's what I want to know.
And then she goes right back in and takes a naked picture, but they threw the paint over her clothes.
I didn't complain about that.
Hotel and took it.
Did you complain?
She's
Did you complain?
She's not bad to look at.
So not the prospect of the year that I am selecting. Did you have anything further on Moses? My man Moses.
No, 20-year-old United Kingdom guy, 6'2.5", lefty. I think Dave Schroeder, he's probably onto something. I don't know though that he can beat any of the current world champions, but he doesn't need to because he's only 20.
No,
those current world champions right now, they're all in their mid to late 30s.
Yeah,
they're about done. So all he's got to do is just keep winning and keep fighting these former champs or these former world champ contenders, and just keep knocking them out.
The heavyweight division, I think, right now is very interesting. It's there's a lot of storylines, a lot of names, but it's not like it doesn't feel like elite. Historically, if that makes sense.
It does, because I think a lot of different, like, we're used to like one guy dominating.
Yeah.
Like a Tyson, a Klitschko, and I'm sorry, so it's Klitschko, but Klitschko did dominate. Lennox Lewis, those guys dominated for like a good amount of time. You're like, they were the best. We thought Fury was, he's not.
And I'll put a pin in that for later, because I think we need to bring that up when we talk about potentially the fighter of the year. Maybe, I don't know, but it'll come up. My prospect of the year is another heavyweight. This is the heavyweight show, I guess. Not completely, but and this is a local guy. He fights out of Orlando, Cuban. Okay,
I like it.
And so he's seemingly young. You just never know.
They're Cubans, so you don't know.
BoxRec says 25. He looks like he's 45, but he's he's younger than that.
He fights like he's 25.
Super talented, 10-0, and my prospect of the year, the guy to pay attention to, Daniel the Fear Pero. I can't roll my R. Daniel Pero. Well, there's only one R in his last time. Pero. He is now the WBA Continental USA Heavyweight Champ. That's a mouthful. Won that here in December at Caribe Royale at the convention. The Knockout Drugs. Those are the best ones. The Knockout Drugs event. He won that belt. So that's my prospect of the year. Pay attention to this guy. I said it before. We've seen him fight probably a year ago, I think. I saw him fight about a year or so ago.
I saw him a couple times. He's been almost.
He's fought at the Caribe now 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 times, 5 times, going all the way back to the beginning of 2024.
I saw at least 3 or 4 of those.
So I would pay attention to that. Another up-and-coming heavyweight, maybe not to the ascension that you're talking of, Moses. I don't know his last name again. But another name to pay attention to as the youth movement in the heavyweight division continues to crystallize. I think these are two quality names, prospects of the year for folks at home pay attention to.
Let's see those two guys clash with each other. I mean, that would be a big fight.
Absolutely.
And guess what? Maybe we can do that right here because Box Lab has made Orlando, Florida, the hub of boxing.
Oh, so the Southeast for sure.
For sure, without a doubt. And they're bringing big-time fights here. And, I don't know if it was on my runner-up list, B-Money, but the knockout of the year, I do think it was worthy of talking about. But I only didn't bring it up because I had close ties with the team. But Tim Tszyu, man. He got knocked out pretty good here. And it was I feel like he got knocked out like 3 times in that fight.
Yeah.
He literally got concussions 3 probably different times.
Yeah, and the fact it was an underdog that did it and everything. Yeah. It was,
guy nobody ever heard of. A guy who was a world champion, which is funny that nobody ever heard of him and he's a world champion. Me and the guy, Murtazaliev is his name. Mm-hmm. Murtazaliev, I think. But anyway, we actually shared a mutual opponent. And Murat knocked him out in the 2nd or 3rd round. I knocked the guy out in the 5th round. Funny enough, Ahmad Shiko. I didn't know that until I looked him up. But anyway, I think that was a pretty good knockout too. I know that we already got past that, but I just thought of it because of Box Lab and what big time fights Box Lab's bringing right here to Orlando, Florida, and now they have Daniel Padro, and they're doing good, and that guy's with them. They're bringing along fighters brilliantly.
We love Box Lab here on the show, and by the way, you're the namesake on the show, weighing in with Travis Hartman. We can go out of order all you want, I want. We can do whatever we want. At home, if you're still listening, we appreciate it. Be sure you're subscribing, though, as well. If you're following on YouTube or Rumble or wherever it is, follow us, like it, subscribe it. If you're listening, whether it's on Spotify or if you're on iHeartRadio, on iTunes, whatever it is, listening to the audio, go ahead and follow that too, or at least, I don't know, there's different ways to do it, but follow the content. That helps us interact. That obviously helps the metrics and the analytics. So keep doing that. But Weekend Trav, let's shift gear because this is the main award for the show, the 2024 Fighter of the Year. And I will go first. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same. And if it is, give me a little look, and then I'll kind of shut my mouth because I want the people at home listening to hear more of your analytics when it comes to why this is. But it's going to be hard to argue, in my opinion, that the 2024 Fighter of the Year is not one Alexander Usyk, who is now, in my opinion, the pound-for-pound best boxer in the world at this point, okay? He has made a believer out of so many, I think, and I've been on that train for a bit. Both times he fought Tyson Fury, I've been correct on that. We'll get to that in a moment, folks. There's something that Weekend Trav, because he lost a bet, has to partake in. We'll get to that. I don't want to talk too much about it because I want to hear from you about it, but the Fighter of the Year, in my opinion, hands down, should be Alexander Usyk.
Yep, agreed. And I think that you're 100% correct. And I find it very difficult for anybody to pick against him. I think it's unanimous. I think he's got to be on the unanimous list of the Fighter of the Year because of what he accomplished. And people want to talk about, it's so funny now that when Tyson Fury loses, hearing all the people just jump on that bandwagon of like, oh, he never was good. Those Wilder fights were over it. Shut up. Bull crap. Tyson Fury's legit. Okay? Give me a break. He's legit. Mm-hmm. He beat Klitschko not when Klitschko was over the hill. He beat Klitschko at 21 years old too, and Klitschko hadn't lost in 11 years. Okay? Tyson Fury was not a fraud. Tyson Fury can fight, okay? And I think you're taking away from Alexander Usyk when you talk about Tyson Fury not being good. So, right. Alexander Usyk, undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, moves up to heavyweight, smaller guy, 6'3". It's funny that we say a 6'3" guy small, but nowadays the division is 6'6" and above. So 6'3" guy, undisputed, moves up to heavyweight, and cruiserweight guys is 200 pounds and under. Mm-hmm. Heavyweight is 200 pounds and infinity. Mm-hmm. You can weigh whatever. Mm-hmm. So he's going into that division being undersized, period. And funny enough, Alexander Usyk shares the same birth date as Muhammad Ali. His first couple pro heavyweight fights, he weighed the exact same as Muhammad Ali. He's the same height as Muhammad Ali. I should have took that into account when I was doing my prediction videos.
Does that go into the formula?
It should.
Is that
it should.
Birth dates?
Because maybe it's destiny. Because that's a pretty good birth date to share.
Yeah,
especially when it comes to boxing.
Sure.
So Alexander Usyk's a lefty, crafty, skilled. He's not. And here's the deal. I did think Tyson Fury was good mainly because he's 6'9", 276 pounds.
Sure helps.
Okay? That helps. That's why I thought he was extremely good. He wasn't a fraud, but he was in a division that had unlimited weight division, so he got away with beating these smaller guys essentially because everybody's smaller than him really. But that's why I thought he was the best. I got the prediction wrong, and I think I'm pretty good at predictions. I do. I get some wrong, obviously, sometimes, but it's boxing. That's why they fight the fights in the ring and not on paper because guys like me get it wrong sometimes. I got it wrong. Me and B-Money made a bet. B-Money predicted this one right. Good for you, B-Money.
I've gotten a few Usyk fights correct.
Well, I've gotten a lot wrong.
You've gotten every one of them wrong.
I am 0 for 4.
Yeah.
First 2 Joshua ones, last 2 Fury ones.
Yeah.
So, but he proved it.
So
proved it.
We'll get to the spoils of victory here in a second. The one thing is that, yes, folks, they fought twice. And the first one, I don't think there was a question as to who won that, but I think the scoring it was pretty tight one way or another, and I think Fury was gifted the ability to last through the end of the fight by the referee. This one, no. I think the scorecards, for the most part, got it correct, and it was not overwhelming, but it was definitely heavily favored on Usyk winning. I don't think there was a question in anyone's mind. I don't think if you rewatch it, you're like, wait a minute. No way.
Well, I'll push back a little bit.
Fair.
I wasn't upset with the winner. I got the prediction wrong. I wasn't upset though because I'm not emotionally into these guys.
Sure.
I'm not. I like them. What they do is awesome, but I'm not emotionally into what another man does. Right? Like it's his life. I can't control that. So, but B-Money, I actually will tell you that I thought this fight was closer than the first fight.
Interesting.
And the scorecards overwhelmingly showed 116, 112, all 3 scorecards for Usyk. I didn't have a problem necessarily. I thought it was a little wide, but when you have rounds, I did the math, and one of our people were commenting on the thing, and I broke it down for them. They're like, Fury's not even Usyk's hemisphere. He's not even in his league. I'm like, dude, stop it. That's BS. 7 of the 12 rounds were only separated by 4 or less punches landed. Okay, so it means Usyk outlanded Fury by 4, or there was probably 3 or 4 rounds that were only by 1 or 2 punches difference of landed, okay? The fight was very close. Yeah. I think that it just depended on what you favored, and I did score it for Fury. I would not have been upset with a draw. Right. I scored at 115, 113 for Fury, which means it was 7-5. Easily, I said this when I did it live, and I'll say it again. I'm okay with a 115, 113 for Usyk. And it's that close that a 116, 112 is not that crazy of a score when the rounds were extremely close. Nobody dominated any round. The first fight they did.
So then, because I saw the after stat, or they had a chart up of all the statistics, all like the power shots, and it was like really overwhelmingly in the favor of Usyk. So there weren't any rounds that were just overwhelmingly him, because the after numbers showed favored Usyk on all of them, and it wasn't close.
It was because it was 279. I think Usyk landed to like 230 or something for Fury over 12 rounds.
I gotta find the chart because it just didn't paint that same story.
We could post, and this is what I challenge people to do this too. Be careful when you look at the overall, right? Usyk,
of course, I agree with that.
You have to go by the round by round, and 7 of the 12 rounds were decided by 4 punches or less, and a couple of them are 1 or 2. And if you look at the round by round, it was very close. I think there was only one round where Usyk outlanded him by 4 or more. And it was a close fight. And just because the overall, he did, but that's probably why Usyk won, right? Because he outlanded him. I think he landed at a higher percentage. I think his power punches by more, but nothing was dominated.
Right.
There's a round by round, and I went down because I like this. I like when people comment on our stuff, guys. By the way, comment on more of our stuff because it challenges me to actually go back and have to look at this stuff. So I went back and made a comment, and the guy actually didn't reply back, but cool. But 7 of the 12 rounds were literally separated by 4 punches or less. When you have that, there's nobody dominated that fight. Nobody watched that fight, I don't think, and said overwhelmingly that Usyk dominated him. He did beat him.
Weird metrics because, like at first stat, it's not the chart I'm looking for, but at first stat, it's CompuBox shows Fury threw more punches, okay? A lot more. 509, which was 86 more than Usyk. That's what he threw. But Usyk, it's showing, landed 179 of his 423, which was 35 more than Fury. Now, that's all of it.
Is that the first or second fight?
That was 2. Yep.
I could have swore Usyk landed more.
Yep.
Than once. But that was.
But once again, that's total, so it's not round by round by round. So to your point, and that's what matters, because then people will bring up like Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor too, and how wait a minute, how did Katie Taylor win that and this and that? I mean, it's kind of the same thing. You got to go round by round, and that's what kind of changes.
Because Serrano outlanded her and outthrew her, but yet she lost. Usyk outlanded, outthrew, but yet he won. It's boxing is judged round by round.
It's kind of similar, like it's like in tennis. I mean, you can have some points that is like just overwhelming, and you just breeze through them, and then you have other ones that are challenging, and you might not win it, or you might
get 1 point for it.
Correct. So it's like that. I guess
it was, and that, like I said, I don't think not one single person that watched that it was not a robbery. It's not even close. Not even close to that. But if you favored the boxing, this was actually, to me, honestly, Fury showed extreme discipline, and he boxed very well. Like I thought he boxed better in the second one than he did the first one. In the first one, he lost by a split decision. I didn't think that was probably that fair. But the second one, I thought could have been a lot closer. But again, 116, 112 seems like it's very unanimous, right? But every single one of those rounds were insanely close.
Yeah.
And I went through and counted them. 7 of the 12, it was separated by 4 punches or less. 7 of the 12.
Well, here we go. Here's the round by round on CompuBox. Well, either way, the result means that Weekend Trav, our bet, Weekend Trav and I made a bet, and I said I was going to bet with my brain and not my heart.
You did.
And I feel like you bet with your heart and not your brain.
I did. This is when I lose. That's when I lose every time. You know
and
this.
you
This
thought Fury was going to win. I said my brain says Usyk's going to win, and so here it is. So the bet is Weekend Trav has to take a shot of what we have dubbed on the show and the program called swill. Swill is the accumulation. If you want to show it to the camera a little closer, look at that nice auburnish brown color. It shouldn't be that color, I don't think, folks. It's kind of cloudy.
It's really cloudy.
There might be some floaters in there. I don't know. So the swill, which has a label on it, I put a label on it.
I showed the label.
Is an accumulation of the residue. I guess we're back. Technical difficulty with the expensive camera.
We still don't know how to do this.
So the swill, I don't know if you heard this, but this beautiful auburn cloudy color, which smells horrible. What it reminds me of is when a dump truck comes, empties a dumpster, clears it out, puts the big the can back for the business, and it's like that residue at the bottom that still didn't quite make its way out. That's what this is. Smell it. Did you smell it?
I did already. I'm about to taste it. I don't even need to smell it. I'm about to taste it.
That's what
Drinking
she said.
out of, I don't know if we seen this on the screen or not, but this is Go Work It's a Brian Price picture of him, the box father.
Dude, no.
I'm doing a half a shot and I'm gonna vomit.
This sounds horrible.
Let me get my water. Hold on. We're gonna get this because I'm gonna chase it with some water. Oh, B Money. This is for me losing my prediction with Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk 2. B Money, as if most of our users don't realize it, B Money picked Usyk, guys. Pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I know some stuff.
Listen, the dogs.
Oh my gosh.
The sun shines on a dog.
That just.
I'm not doing more than that, dude.
Dude.
That's a lot. Oh my gosh, dude, I don't.
Like in the, if you're at a bar and like the bar mat at the end of the night, they like just dump it into like one cup.
That's this for sure.
Maybe if you stirred around with like a cigarette butt. That's like and peanuts.
I mean, I wish you could taste.
That's the puncher's chance residue, and there's the peanut. There's that peanut.
Like
flavor.
I don't know how many different ones are in here. There's a bunch.
Dude, it's been in that bottle for
and like we just keep adding
collecting
to it.
for like 2 years.
But also, who's drinking this because like it's getting low? Is somebody secretly drinking?
Sometimes I enough. I don't know.
Sometimes you just want to punish yourself.
Early morning when I was up there just to wake up.
It's like I want to punish myself. All right, guys.
This is the swill. This is because Weekend Trav took Tyson Fury to beat Alexander Usyk, and I said, no, the fighter of the year for 2024, Alexander Usyk, he's going to win.
Get this. This will be for the.
All right. Is it already recording?
No, you can press it. This is going to be for the Insta.
All right.
This is for
Weekend
losing.
Trav taking the shot, half a shot of swill for losing the bet against B Money. He took Tyson Fury to take down Alexander Usyk.
Idiots.
I said, you're nuts. Go with your brain.
If I throw up live on air, this is going to be terrible.
Don't do it. Here it is. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I said no. I didn't say anything about a chaser.
Oh, my gosh, dude. I need a second. I might throw up.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm about to call some dinosaur. Oh, man. Oh, that was not good.
Okay, there you go.
Why do we do these things to ourselves?
So that is it. That's fight of the year. And so we went match of the year. Match of the year, we both agreed. Ryan Garcia did beat Devin Haney, whatever the records say.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. He beat.
Knockout of the year, we had two different. Actually, yeah, we had two different knockouts of the year, and then two different prospects of the year, and then fighter of the year, we both agreed it was Alexander Usyk for 2024. Looking forward to 2025. What's that?
The whole world better agree that Usyk was the fighter of the year.
Looking forward to 2025. There's a good amount of potential on the horizon. I mean, we've talked Canelo and we've talked Terrence Crawford, maybe, who knows, and other guys starting to get their names in the mix as well. You got Keyshawn out there that's starting to run his mouth a little bit. I would like to see him possibly fight
Teofimo Lopez,
yeah.
The Matias guy, the Puerto Rican guy. I think that fight got
that killed
made.
somebody in the ring.
Yeah, I think that fight got made. That's good, but he lost as well.
Yes,
but I think that's a great fight actually.
Yeah, so there's some good stuff.
I mean,
to me so far there aren't those fights where like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. Like that hasn't been booked yet.
Yeah.
Unless this is $250 million apiece to Logan Paul and Conor McGregor for some other circus fight in India, where probably the richest business family in the country, instead of feeding their people, might have two just complete nonsense people fight each other in a boxing ring. That'd be terrible in the summertime in India. What's the summer like in India? Is it? It's got to stink.
It's got
to smell.
I mean, listen,
right?
They're very overpopulated. It's not clean.
What do you think about that Indian street food? You ever seen these videos?
No.
These guys that are just,
Here we go.
they're just like scooping the stuff and really quick and throwing it. And it's just so unsanitary. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Indian street
not
food.
Clean, dude. I'm sorry. Like, obviously, there's probably good parts there is. But when I was in Asia, and I was not in India, but I was in China.
Yeah. China.
Beijing, Wuhan.
Wuhan has a lot of bats,
and
I've heard.
Shenzhen, I think it was. And then we were also in
making
Japan.
names up.
I promise.
You're
and I was in
making
Korea.
names up.
Shenzhen's a real
Shenzhen.
It's a real place. I promise. There's a tennis tournament there. But anyway, I was there. I was also in Japan. I was in Tokyo, and I was also in Seoul, Korea. So, not North Korea, South Korea, obviously. But Japan was clean because it's actually fairly new because we almost wiped them off the face of the planet. So we rebuilt it. It's pretty new. It's very nice. It's very clean. But then you go over to China. It's not clean, man.
China.
We were in Beijing, and it's not clean. They're very overpopulated, and there's just, I mean, if you have so many people, billion people, where does all the poop go? Where does the poop go?
To India.
Like, where does the
stinks.
poop go?
And India actually has more, the population's higher in India now than it is in China. The metrics are. And I think, did I see that? One of my New Year's Eve stats, I think I saw was the world populated like 8.5 billion people now or something stupid like that. Or 9 billion, something like wild.
Well, and we're going to pay $500 million to Conor McGregor and Logan Paul.
That's so stupid. That ain't happening. Folks, mark my words. Mark my words, that ain't happening.
Well, wait. The fight might happen, but the money
ain't happening.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That is not something, honestly.
If somehow that happens, I will get on the ground every time I see those guys, and I will bow to them. If Conor McGregor and Logan Paul get paid $250 million each to fight each other in a BS fight, I will get on the ground every single time. I will kiss their feet and I will bow to them. I promise you that. If they make $250 million each, $500 million, B, guys, not an M, a B, then they deserve, I don't even know what. It's just so sickening.
It's just the sign. It's the sign of the end of our society, right there. You have this potential matchup, this fight. You have to pay me to fight this. This is not one I'm interested in the slightest.
At all. Agreed.
I have
100%.
no interest.
No.
Honestly, at this point, I have zero interest in Conor McGregor at all.
Yeah, I mean, he's Mr. Irrelevant.
When does he fight? When did he fight last?
I think
4 years ago?
Yeah, it's at least 2 years.
In any form. I mean, when was the last time he fought?
I can't
He was
remember.
in the Roadhouse remake. I didn't even watch that. And I love the original Roadhouse. And I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I didn't watch this one.
Listen, Conor McGregor started falling off as soon as we tested out Proper 12 on the podcast.
Oh, my gosh.
He started going downhill for me.
I'm sorry, but folks,
remember that?
you guys, people like it.
I know. I've
People
heard
like it.
some. Dude, no way it's good.
It isn't good.
It's not. It's like $21 a bottle. It's not good whiskey.
Like, I get it. It's not like it's not bourbon. Obviously, the bourbon's sweeter and stuff, and it's distilled differently.
It's a whiskey.
But it's whiskey.
Irish,
It's a Scotch whiskey, right? Or it's an Irish whiskey. It's an Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's not, dude. We've tried a lot.
It is not.
Everybody's taste buds are different, right? But
It is not proper once.
We both hate it.
It's not proper twice. It's not proper thrice. All the way to 12. It ain't proper at all.
That's pretty good.
There's yeah.
B Money's over here riffing, and I like it.
Tell you what. So that's what we had for you guys for 2024.
You get 15 cents if we take this back to Virginia.
So we're
5
drinking
cents in Iowa.
now. We're drinking Hooten Young. We've drunk it on the show before, and you know, I think Tim over there with Hooten Young,
Mr. Tim Young
Yeah.
over here in Lake Nona.
and I love this stuff. So you can catch this now. You can pretty much get this at most major liquor stores now, which is great. Good for them. So Hooten Young,
Mr.
check it out.
Hooten is a military specialist as well. He's a hero.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Hooten and Young, and it's American
It was the Black
whiskey.
Hawk Down story, right? Was that
I
what it
think
was?
so. Yep.
Yeah.
He's a pretty phenomenal guy. We talked to him at their Lake Nona Country Club, which is coming up. Actually, they do an LPGA tournament right here in January. I believe it's towards the end of this month. So this is age 12 years, B Money. I don't know if we've had the age 12 years, have we? I don't think we have. No, I think this is the first time we've had this. I don't think we have the age 12 years.
I pulled it off of my private shelf.
No, this is good, dude. I've had the age 12, but we've not had it on the show. We had,
You sure?
I'm pretty sure, man, this is 12 years. I don't think we had the 12 year. I don't think. I mean, this is B Money's pulling out the big dogs for today, for the year ender.
And
First of all,
beginner.
Yeah, year ender and beginner. This is well, you know what? Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk kind of forced everybody to wait because they fought at the end of December, which is normally doesn't really happen. I always talk about it on the podcast, the big time fights.
We're back.
We don't know what to do.
Okay, I know exactly what to do. Put your headphones on because we got to wrap this thing up. So that's episode 172, and that was our 2024 Superlative Awards that went out as we do every year. We're looking forward to 2025 in the boxing realm and combat sports realm. We don't cover too much more of that, but we're looking forward to possibly some dirty boxing and things like that in 2025. Weekend Trav, final thoughts to you.
Happy New Year. 2024 was a very interesting year, but me of all people, I don't complain a lot, and I'm not going to complain still, but I'm saying I'm happy that 2025 is here. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Cheers to a prosperous and amazing 2025
All right.
to everybody,
And
including our listeners, including all the people who picked Usyk and I didn't.
And I, as the co-host, I do complain a lot, and this is a good opportunity to air my grievances
Let's hear it.
for 2024. No, I won't do that because then you'll just feel bad for me, and maybe you then will subscribe. If you have yet to do so, please hit that button below if you're on YouTube, and also hit the little bell icon if you want to be notified when we drop content. We do a lot on Instagram or on Facebook, but don't worry about that as much. Instagram is where it's going. All the short form content.
We have a
So
TikTok as well, but it might be getting banned too, so don't worry about that.
Trump's saving it. So anyways, that's that. I don't have any final thoughts because it's just so bitter. Someone asked me right before New Year's, what's your New Year's resolution? I said, I resolve myself to be a worse person in 2025 than I was in 2024.
You want to be a worse person?
You don't have to be it's not about being better. It's just about, making adjustments.
Okay.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to for the new year? And I quote Clubber Lang, pain. That over there is the talent. Weekend Trav.
That there is B Money, a.k.a. producer, the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you for staying tuned with us. We had a couple technical difficulties, but we'll be back.
God bless.